Good evening. How are you guys doing today? First off, before I start, I do want to apologize. I completely made a mistake today when I posted on my community site. Coney, you caught it. I'm sorry I wasn't able to respond fast enough. I posted that I would have a lesson April 22nd at this time on a Tuesday. Coney, you figured it out. It wasn't April 22nd. It was actually today. So yeah, I apologize. So I tried to fix it. I didn't notice. I was working all day and I didn't notice until I came home. Coney, thank you very much for noticing that. Before responding to you, I actually deleted the post. I wasn't able to respond to you. So if you're watching now, or if you're listening on the replay, Coney, thank you so much. And I apologize to everyone. Yeah, the lesson was going to be today. That's why I started a little bit late. I was frantic trying to fix the post. I did put a new post up saying it was starting at, but on April 30th Japan time, wherever that is for you guys. So I apologize, and I hope it works itself out. I'm glad that everyone is here to join me. We're going to do phrasal verbs again today. We're going to do sort of part two. It's going to be a little bit more difficult, but I'm going to actually narrow it down today. I think that last lesson, I think it was a good lesson, but I think it was too many. I think 20 phrasal verbs in one lesson is too many. So I'm cutting that down to 10 today. I think that's more manageable for everyone. I think if we do 10, you should be able to remember most of them. I think 20 was too much. So we'll only do 10 today, but they will be a little bit more difficult, but not advanced, not crazy. So don't worry about that. So as always, I will put the lesson onto the screen as I'm doing it right now. And if you joined my last lesson where we went over phrasal verbs, the beginning part is going to be the same. There's going to be no difference because a phrasal verb is always created the same way. It's going to be a verb and an adverb, or a verb and a preposition, or a verb and some phrasal phrase, right? A phrase will go in there. So most of the times it'll be a preposition or an adverb. So there's that'll be no difference right here. And that's right in the middle, as you can see on your screen right now. And if this is your first time joining me, that's great. Welcome. My name's Shelly. I've been teaching English for many years, 20 plus years. I live in Japan. I'm from Canada. Phrasal verbs. The difficult thing about phrasal verbs is that sometimes the phrasal verbs are really easy to understand. And again, if you joined me last week, or last lesson, I said the same thing. Some are easy to understand. So this is no different, right? This is absolutely no different than the last lesson. So this will be a good review for any of you who join me. So if we look at the phrasal verb turn around, right? Turn around is very easy to understand. It means to actually turn 180 degrees. There's no, it's not complicated. But some phrasal verbs are going to be more difficult to understand. For instance, turn up. Turn up, right? I'm not turning my body in this situation. Turn up means to increase the volume or the strength of your air conditioner or your heater, right? So turn up is a little bit different. So we're increasing the volume, or we're increasing the strength of your AC or heater. Ola, how are you today? How are you? How's everything for you? How was your day? How was your weekend? I'm going to have a really strange schedule this week. And that's a lot because there's a holiday in this country, in Japan, where I live now. It's called Golden Week. And I am not really sure why. I kind of know what the reason is, but basically there's like 3 or 4. There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 4 or 5 national holidays, public holidays in the next 2 weeks. So they've joined them all together, and basically the country is having like a week off. It's like a second spring holiday or holiday before summer. It's called Golden Week. So my schedule this week will be a little bit strange because I'll be having a lot of live lessons, I think. So just to let you know, Ola. What do we have here? Long time no see as well. Hey, how are you? How are you? I hope everything's going well. So I believe last time, Ola, you joined the phrasal verbs, right? So the beginning part's the same. Some are difficult to understand, some are easy. You know, sometimes you have a phrasal verb, you put them together. Oh, okay, makes sense. I understand that. You know, pick up means to physically pick up something. Some are more difficult. That's we'll have a combination of that today. Now, the only thing I want everyone to remember, and this is I did that in my last lesson, is whenever you use a phrasal verb with a pronoun. Now, a pronoun, and I'm going to scroll down here. A pronoun is right here. It's going to be me, you, her, him, it, us, them. Okay? Me, you, her, him, it, us, them. These are so important. Okay? These pronouns are so important because when we use these words with a phrasal verb, they must go in the middle. All right, so I just used the phrasal verb to pick up. So this, I don't know if you guys can see, I'm going to try to scroll it down. This is on my table. I'm going to pick it up. I pick it up, right? So in that situation, pick up, and the pronoun I use is it. It must go in the middle. Pick it up. All right. Sometimes I will hear people say pick up it. A lot of people like to say that. They like to put it after. Pick up it. This is incorrect. Please do not use it in this way. The pronoun must go in the middle. Pick it up. Pick me up. Pick them up. Pick us up. Okay, it always goes in the middle. If you have a noun, not a pronoun, a regular noun, then it can go in the middle or the end, right? So that there's 2 choices there. But if you are talking about these pronouns, only one choice. It must go into the middle. Okay, so please remember that. Please remember that. Okay, so let's get started. I think some of you, I think so far, most of the people who have joined my live lessons have joined other live lessons. So I think that for the most part, we understand the grammar of phrasal verbs. And if you weren't sure, please, sorry, it's super noisy around my house right now. It's very hot. I've got the windows open, so I apologize. I'm in Tokyo. There's a lot of people, a lot of noisy cars outside. So the only thing I want you to remember for grammar is that the pronoun should go in the middle. It goes in the middle. Don't put it at the end. Don't put it after phrasal verb. Put it in the middle. Okay. The rest of the grammar, basically all you have to do is memorize. You have to memorize. What does each phrasal verb mean? Basically, we'll go over that today. Please remember it, memorize it, and then you'll be able to use it in your natural conversation. So let's look at the very first one. The very first one says catch on, catch on. What do you think this means, catch on? And if you know what catch on means, leave it in the comment section. If you're not sure what it means, you can just say, I don't know, or you can just wait. And one sec, I'm just gonna move a new lesson onto my screen here so you can see. All right, so catch on. Does anybody know what catch on means? Okay, well, as always, I'm going to provide the meaning of it right on the screen here. Let me just make my screen a little bit bigger so you can understand and follow along. Okay. So we do have an answer here. It means to understand something. To understand something. Yes. Right. And I think that's the correct thing. I think it means to understand. I think it means to learn something. And sometimes we often will say it's gradually. Gradually. Do you know what gradually means? That you're not learning it right away. Maybe it's taking some time. So you understand, you learn something gradually. All right, so to catch on. All right, next, let's go with settle down. Settle down. What do you think settle down means? Settle down. What do you guys think that means? Ola, nice try. Upset. Upset. It's a little different than upset. A little different than upset. It's a good idea. It's a good idea. Now, I'm going to give you an example sentence. Now, let me share the screen again here. Now, I'll put the example sentence on to the screen here. Now, there's two meanings of settle down. There's two meanings. I'll give you one meaning right here with my example sentence. So if I said that sentence, I decided to settle down in Tokyo. I decided to settle down in Tokyo. Okay, that's one meaning. That's one meaning. Okay, another meaning is I told the noisy kids to settle down. Those are two example sentences here. One, I decided to settle down in Tokyo. So I'm from Canada. I've lived in the US for a very long time. Now I live in Japan. So I decided to settle down in Japan. So the two meanings for settle down. One meaning would be to establish a stable life. Okay, so to establish or to, let's say, make a stable life. So if someone is always traveling to different cities or going to many different places, but then they decide, okay, I'm going to stay here. This is where I will stay. This is where I will make my life. We can say, I will settle down here. Okay. Now, the second meaning was I told the noisy kids to settle down. I told the noisy kids to be calm, to be quiet, to not be kind of crazy, to be calm. Okay, so to be calm. Two meanings for settle down. To be calm or to have a stable life. So yes, yeah, a man was going to settle down and finally get married. Yeah. So a lot of people, if they settle down and get married, that means they decide, yeah, they're going to have a stable life with their partner. That's a great sentence, by the way, Ola. To settle down and get married. That's very commonly used in English. All right. Number 3, breakdown. Breakdown. What do you think breakdown means? Breakdown. You know what I'll do is I'll give you guys example sentences to make it easier. I'll give you the example sentence and then you can try to tell me what it means. So I had to take the train to work today because my car broke down. I had to take the train to work today because my car broke down. Here's an example sentence. Now you tell me what the phrasal verb means. I had to take the train to work today because my car broke down. So from that sentence, what do you think it means? Try to make it as big as possible so you guys can fit it all in. So destroying, yeah, very, very close. I think that is good. I think destroy is a very strong word. It means like complete destruction, very, very big. So maybe it's too big, too strong for this meaning. To break down means something is going to fail. Okay, something is going to collapse. Something is going to break. Just break down just means broken. So my car broke down. So here, broke down is going to be the verb. It broke down. It means it became broken. It became broken. All right, very good. All right, next one we have is run into. All right, so there you go. Fibers. What is it? Let me make sure I pronounce your name right. Faribors. I hope I'm saying it right. Faribors. Yes, stop operating well. Perfect. Breakdown, that's what it means, to stop operating well. Now, run into. My example sentence is, I was so happy to run into my friend in the park. I was so happy to run into my friend in the park. And by the way, Faribors, did I say your name right? If I said it wrong, I am very sorry. Please tell me how to pronounce it correctly. All right, so Faribors, you got meet accidentally. Maybe, yeah. So despite breaking my schedule, I had my class. Okay, you had your class tonight? I hope you didn't break your schedule for well, I'm actually very happy if you broke your schedule to have a lesson here. Thank you so much. I'm so happy, actually, to be honest. I feel sorry though. I feel bad if that's the case. I'm not sure if that's what you're thinking run into means. Faribos, I think your meaning meet accidentally, maybe. Boars. Okay, there we go. Boars. Okay, much easier. Thank you so much. So nice. You're so nice. You're right. Your answer is right. To meet accidentally. I'll change it. The word accidentally. I think you've got the right meaning. I'm just gonna change your word. So you're gonna meet unexpectedly. You're gonna meet unexpectedly. So you didn't plan. You didn't plan to meet your friend. You didn't plan to meet your friend, but nevertheless, you're in the park. Oh, hey, my friend. So you run into your friend. And again, I apologize for the noise. If I don't open this window, it's going to be so hot. It's very, very hot here in Tokyo recently. So run into means to meet unexpectedly. Olha. No, it was just an example. Sorry. I apologize. Okay, let's look here. How many have we done? We've done 4. We got 6 more, and then we have your little test where you can use all of these phrasal verbs in sentences. So next, figure out. Figure out. What do you think the word figure out means? And I'll give you an example sentence. I tried and tried and tried, but one sec. Okay, that's my sentence here. I tried and tried and tried, but I couldn't figure out how he did the magic trick. I tried and tried and tried, but I couldn't figure out how he did the magic trick. Mylin, how are you today? How are you today? Good to see you. It's been so long. I hope you're doing really well. Good to see you. Good to see you. Realize, Ola, very good. Realize, maybe a little different than realize. And I like this one. Boris, when you say figure out, my mind goes exactly into hard math problems. Yeah, me too. Me too. And when you figure out something, that means you're trying to solve it. You're trying to solve it, right? So you're trying to understand it, right? So those would be how I would say it, to understand or solve something. Now, it actually doesn't have to be something. It can be someone. I can't figure him out. So I could even put someone here. That is possible. But basically, it means to understand or solve something. All right, very good. Next one, bring up, bring up, bring up, bring up. My example sentence for bring up. My example sentence for bring up means, let's say, all right. So I'm actually just making these example sentences on the fly, on the go. I haven't prepared them. So if I think of a better example sentence, I'll add it. This is the first one that I could think of. I didn't want to talk about it, but he brought it up. I didn't want to talk about it, but he brought it up. What do you guys think that means? There you go. Mention, a simple word. Perfect, Boris. Nice. Nice. Perfect. You mention something. You raise a topic for discussion. Well done, Boris. All right. So you, like Boris said, mention something or raise a topic for discussion. All right, well done, well done. Next, we have give in. Give in. Who can tell me what give in means? All right, my example sentence for this means, let's say my boss refused my holiday request, but after I pestered her, she gave in. My boss refused my holiday request, but after I pestered her, she gave in. What do you guys think means? What do you think give in means? So my boss, she refused my holiday request, but after I pestered her. Pestered means I nag her. I keep asking and keep asking and keep asking, keep bothering. So I pestered her. Then she gave in. Yes. Perfect. So She surrendered. She surrendered. She yielded. She stopped resisting. Good job, Boris. All right. So to give in means to surrender, to yield. Okay, to yield. That would be another one. Or maybe stop resisting. So you say, no, 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 no. Ah, okay, I give in. Then you do it. So it's different than give up. Give up means you quit. Give up means you're doing something and then you stop doing it. That's give up. Give in means you're saying no, 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 no. Okay, yes. So that's give in. All right, we got 3 more before we test your understanding. Next is stand by. Stand by. What would stand by mean? So my example sentence would be, even though they accused him, I stood by him because I knew he excuse me. All right. That's my example sentence. Oh. Even though they accused him, I stood by him because I knew he was honest. Boris, no, perfect. Support, yes. Support is the exact meaning for that. So to stand by means that you're going to support or be loyal to someone. To support or be loyal to someone. I think that, I hope maybe some of you have seen the famous movie Stand By Me, right? So it's a famous movie of 4, I believe it's 4 boys who go on an adventure, but they all support each other. They're loyal to each other. All right. Next. Let's do cut off. Cut off. So many meanings of this. So many meanings. I'll do 2. We'll go over 2 of them today. The 2 of the most common ones. My example sentence would be, I was trying to talk, but he cut me off. We'll actually do 3 today. I almost got into a car accident because someone cut me off. And we'll do 1 more. I'm going to squeeze in a 3rd sentence here. The man was cut off at the bar because he had drunk too much. All right, so 3 sentences, 3 different meanings. And Ola, you gave me a 4th sentence. Perfect. Electricity was cut off on your day off. Yes, perfect sentence. I hope that's not true. I hope it's not true, but yeah, that's perfect. It was cut off means it was stopped. It was stopped. And Boris, first is kind of like chime in or interrupt. Yes, I was trying to talk, but he cut me off. He completely interrupted me. He interrupted me. Yes. What about the second one? I almost got into a car accident because someone cut me off. What do you guys think that means? I almost got into a car accident because someone cut me off. This is kind of that feeling here, and I'm going to use little props that I have on hand here. Car, right? So let's imagine I'm driving forward. I'm the pink car. I'm driving forward, and the black car suddenly comes up in front of me very, very tight. Okay, let's do it this way so if you guys can see it. Driving, suddenly comes in front. So pink car has to stop. That's when someone cuts you off. When you're driving a car, if someone comes in very tight, very hard, very fast, we say they cut you off. So it's kind of like interrupting when you're speaking, but this is physically you cut someone off. Okay, and the third meaning, the man was cut off at the bar because he had drunk too much. So all of these meanings kind of have this similar feeling of you're cutting, you're stopping, you're ending something. So first one was they interrupt you. Second one was they go in front abruptly. Third one, if you're cut off at a bar, that means the bartender, the bar, the restaurant says, stop, no more alcohol for you. No more alcohol. We will not give you any more. You are cut off. So you're completely cut off from drinking. So one phrasal verb, 3 different meanings. And yes, that's the thing, Mylin. Phrasal verbs are really large. They're to learn all of the meanings of the word for different contexts. I completely agree. So what I'm trying to teach you here is there's different meanings of cut off, but the ones I would use in spoken English are these 3. So if someone interrupts you when you're speaking, stop cutting me off. If you're driving, someone cut you off, oh, he cut me off. Or third, someone was drinking too much at a bar. So you could say, listen, you need to cut him off. All right. So yeah, I agree, Melon. There's so many different meanings. So bores, like someone cut my attention in the second one. Is second one, are you talking about... Oh, let's go up here. So like the second one. Second one means settle down. Or second example, I almost got into a car accident. Which one are you talking about, Boris? So I think what you're trying to see here, not in this one here, cut my attention. We do have a very similar phrase, but it's not going to be cut. It's going to be caught. Caught my attention. This is another great phrasal verb. So and cut off, yeah. Caught my attention is what you would say. All right, so, I was walking down the street and I saw a beautiful woman, a beautiful man. They caught my attention. I saw a creepy looking person that caught my attention. So I noticed it. Yes, there you go, Boris. Nice. I like it. I like that when we can figure it out together. All right, so cut off. Let's get rid of some of these because there's too many meanings. Cut off, simplest meaning for all of them is to disconnect, to interrupt. Or to go in front. Okay, last one. Put off. Put off. I use this a lot. So I keep putting off going to get a health check. I keep putting off going to get a health check. I keep putting off going to get a health check. I know I should get a health check. It's very important for everybody to go get their health check, but I keep putting it off. So not attract, Ola, not attract, but bores your right to postpone. Same here, by the way, when I come to get my health check. Yeah, I really need to. I really should. We have this phrase in English. I don't know if it's a good phrase. It's actually probably a bad phrase. But we do have this phrase. And it's actually really bad English. The grammar is completely wrong. But we do say this in English. And bear with me, the grammar is not correct, but this is very common. So this phrase here, when it ain't broke, don't fix it. When it ain't broke, don't fix it. All right. That phrase here in English, it's very common. It just means that if I feel fine and there's nothing wrong with me, there's no reason to fix anything. There's no reason to go to the doctor, right? So when it ain't broke, don't fix it. The grammar is wrong. When it isn't broken is correct, but we in English would say when it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, that's me. It's not good, but that's me. Sir Ola, yeah, I think you had a comment here. So, equal caught my attention. Okay, yeah, there you go. Okay, so those are the 10 phrasal verbs that we're going to do today. Right? We've got catch on, settle down, break down, run into, figure out, bring in, give in, stand by, cut off, put off. So what we will do next, I'll make this bigger again. Next, we've got sentences. You have to remember the phrasal verbs, those 10 that we just did. And you're going to make a sentence. Complete the sentence by putting one of the phrasal verbs in here. Now, I said this in the last lesson as well. If you can't remember the phrasal verb, that's completely fine. If you can use a different vocabulary word or maybe a different phrase, if it fits, if it's grammatically correct, that's also okay. Right? I'm not going to trap you into using phrasal verbs when you can use something else that is more natural. So as long as you make a great sentence, any word or phrase that you think of is okay. So number 1, it says, it took me a while to something how to use the new software. And Boris, you've already answered number 1 as I'm giving my long-winded speech. Figure out. Perfect. Perfect. So it took me a while to figure out. It took me a while to solve, to understand how to use the new software. All right, number 2. One sec here. Let's try to make this bigger. There we go. So number 2, after years of traveling, he decided to something and start a family. All right, so after years of traveling, he decided to something and start a family. Four is perfect. Settle down. He decided to settle down and start a family. So that means he's going to be, he's going to establish a stable life. Maybe he's going to get married. Oha, perfect. Settle down. So I have a question for all of you guys, actually. If you could settle down right now, maybe you've already settled down. That doesn't matter. But if you could settle down right now in any city in the world, and don't worry about money. You have any city in the world, money is whatever. You have enough money. Where would you settle down? I think for me, I don't know, it'd have to be some beach somewhere. Maybe Hawaii. I might have to settle down in Hawaii. While you wait to answer that, let's look at number 3. Their car, something on the highway, so they had to call for assistance. Their car, something on the highway, so they had to call for assistance. So try to think again. If you can't remember the phrasal verb, any sentence is fine. So they had to call for assistance. And when we think about assistance, maybe we could think tow truck. A tow truck. So Boris, I'll settle down to LV until I break down like a clunky rusty car. Now, is LV Las Vegas? If LV is Vegas, because it is Vegas because of gambling a lot. I love Vegas. Boris, I love Vegas. I used to live in Los Angeles for like 10 years. And Las Vegas is a 4-hour car drive away. So on a Friday after work, if I had no plans, if I was bored, we would just drive to Vegas, go to Vegas, hit the shows, hit the tables. It was great. I loved it. Olha, your dream is to see Tokyo. You have to come. You have to come. Olha, if you come to Tokyo, I will be your personal guide. I live here. I've been here for a while. I know it very well. So if you come, I can guide you around. It's great. It's a great place. But my only warning about coming to Tokyo or coming to Japan is summertime is extremely hot. And it's not temperature hot, it's humidity hot. Like it's so hot. Like you can stand outside in Tokyo and not move and you will be sweating because it's that humid outside. But yeah, you should come to Tokyo. Yeah, my pleasure. So what was the answer? And Boris, you answered it in your sentence there. I like it. So there, until I break down like a clunky, rusty car. I love it. So their car broke down on the highway, so they had to call for assistance. So the answer here, broke down. Their car broke down on the highway, so they had to call for assistance. All right. Number four. While shopping, she unexpectedly something an old friend from college. While shopping, she unexpectedly something an old friend from college. All right, perfect. Boards, run into, and make sure we go correct grammar. It must be past tense. So, ran into. Yeah, so while shopping, she unexpectedly ran into an old friend from college. That means she met an old friend from college. Nice. Look, excellent. I love people who correct their own mistakes. I think that's such a great thing. I do that. It just makes me remember. That's very, very cool in my books. One thing I want to say, and I think this group here is fine with it, but just in case people are confusing this, and some people do, old friend doesn't mean the person's old. This just means that they've been a friend of yours for a long time. All right, so an old friend equals a long-time friend. All right, so this means someone you've been a friend with for a long time. So maybe from elementary school, junior high school, even university, depending on how old you are. An old friend is someone you've been a friend with for a long time. Number 5, I need to something. Why my computer keeps crashing. I need to something. Why my computer keeps crashing. Worst thing is when a computer crashes. I hate it. I need to catch. Catch is more physical, I think, Boris. I would say it's more physical, right? So you're going to be catching something. You physically catch an item, or you physically catch a virus. I caught a cold. Give in. Olha means more surrender. It's kind of like, no more. I tap. It's kind of like give up, but it's a little bit, you're surrendering to something. So your computer crashes. You don't like that, right? You don't like when your computer crashes. So if your computer crashes, you want to, there you go, figure out again. Nice. No one said I was going to say a fair on this, right? Figure out. Very good. All right, you want to solve. Why your computer is crashing. So I need to figure out why my computer keeps crashing. All right, so we've got figure out here, and we're using it again here. Now remember, I said if you wanted to use a different word that fits, that's fine. So if you just use that word, I need to know why my computer keeps crashing. That's completely fine. I need to know. That would work. Okay, what about number 6? Number 6. Please don't something difficult topics during dinner. Please don't something difficult topics during dinner. And while you're answering that one, while you're figuring this one, Olha, bring up. Yes, perfect. Please don't bring up. Please don't bring up difficult topics during dinner. Now, here, bring up means to bring a topic for discussion, to raise a topic. Don't mention something. So, please don't bring up difficult topics during dinner. Now, I do want to go back because, we've got, I'll figure out, right? That's not fair. I did figure out twice. And if I go back to number 1, I think the correct answer is figure out. It took me a while to figure out how to use the new software. We could use another phrasal verb here. We could say it took me a while to catch on how to use the software. Okay, that would also work. Figure out is better, I think. I think figure out for both of those questions is better, but catch on also works. So just in case if you think I was not playing fair. Let's go to number 7. Eventually, he had to something to his boss's demands. Eventually, he had to something to his boss's demands. Boars, give in. Number 7, give in. Perfect. He had to give in to his boss's demands. All right. I like it. Eventually, he had to give in to his boss's demands. That means he surrendered. So I want you to imagine the boss is saying, hey, listen, I need you to work this weekend. I need you to work Saturday and Sunday because we have a very big project. And I say, no, you know what? No, I'm busy. And the boss keeps pushing and pushing and pushing. And then you find us, okay, I'll work Saturday and Sunday. So you give in. Okay, number 8. Number 8. I'll always something you no matter what happens. I'll always something you no matter what happens. This is Nice, Boris. I like it. This fits. Boris, this fits. I like it. I'll always pick on you no matter what happens. Not very nice, but it's grammar is perfect, Boris. I like it. Ola, you're so close. Not stand on. Not stand on. Not stand on. You're very close. Change your preposition, Ola. Stay is fine. Just change your preposition. So I'll always support you. I'll always be next to you. There you go, Boris. Stand by. Yes. Hola, stand by. Perfect. Yeah, this one actually, there's so many answers because I don't give very much information. I just say no matter what happens, right? There's not that much information. So stand by you, support you, pick on you. That means I'm going to tease you. I'm going to tease you or bully you. Yeah, they both work. Number one is supportive. Number two is opposite of supportive. Mylin, perfect. Stand by. Perfect. Well done, Mylin. All right, we got two more. Number 9 and 10. The storm something power to the entire neighborhood. The storm something power to the entire neighborhood. What do you guys think this is? The storm something power to the entire neighborhood. Power would mean electricity, by the way. Power usually means electricity in English. And Boris, perfect. Cut off. The storm cut off power to the entire neighborhood. Perfect. And this has happened. There's actually Ola, perfect. Cut off. Well done. Right. So if you have a huge storm, sometimes it breaks everything. Like, case in point, just last week or this week, somewhere in the U.S., where the tornadoes went all through the U.S., cut off power everywhere. All right, number 10. Number 10. It says, let's not something our meeting any longer. We need to address this issue now. So I'm going to underline another word, which I think is really important that you remember. Address. Let's not something our meeting any longer. We need to address this issue now. And Boris, perfect. Put off. Let's not put off, which means postpone. Let's not postpone. Let's not put off our meeting any longer. We need to address this issue now. Perfect. Well done. Now, I underlined another word here. I underlined the word address. What does address mean? What does address mean? Yeah, I think handle it is a good one. Handle it is a good one, Boris. I think that you're actually going to give it some attention. You're going to kind of look at it and try to solve it. So whether you solve it or you don't solve it, we don't know. But you're going to give it that attention. You're going to pay attention to it. You're going to look at it. You're going to try to solve it. So I think you'll try to handle it. Ola, perfect. Take attention to this issue. Perfect. Well done. Okay. Perfect. Well done. So 10 phrasal verbs. These were a little bit more difficult than the last lesson I did. But nevertheless, these are actually so important, as were the other ones. Last week we did 20. Today we did 10, but I think these are a little bit more difficult. The sentences were more difficult. So first, any questions with any of those phrasal verbs? And I did add a separate section. Boris, nice. Very I'm glad. It's, I'm glad that you thought it was productive. It's first time to see on YouTube. Well, welcome. I'm glad you liked it. I did also create something. If you wanted extra practice, what I've done here is, let me share my screen again. I've added some business phrasal verbs. All right, so there are 5 business phrasal verbs. Cut back, get through, take over, draw up, fell through. So what I'd like you to do, as my neighbors drive aggressively through my streets, cut back, get through, take over, draw up, fell through. What I'd like you to do, if you want extra practice, try making a sentence with all 5 of these phrasal verbs. This is all business English. This is all, it can be regular English as well, depending on how you use it. Cut back, get through, take over. It can be both regular English, business English, but they're a little bit more difficult. There are 5 extra ones here. So if you'd like, do for homework, I'd like you to make some example sentences using these 5 phrasal verbs. You can just choose one. You can do all 5. It's up to you. If you just want to tell me what they mean, that's also okay. So in maybe one of the future phrasal verb lessons, I will do this at the very beginning, so we can go over all of the meanings. But if you want some extra homework, extra practice, here are 5 more that are used a lot in business. All right. And if you don't have any other questions, I'll wait a couple more seconds or minutes if anybody has any questions. It doesn't have to be about today's lesson. It can be about any English topic. It can be about where I live now in Tokyo. It can be about Canada or the US, both countries where I've lived. So if you do have any questions about any of those topics, let me know. Leave it in the comment section. Also, anybody who's watching this on the replay, first, thank you for watching. I hope you liked the lesson, or hope you did like the lesson. Leave all of your questions, comments, and answers in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And it looks like we don't have any questions, which is okay. That's okay. That means hopefully you understood everything. And in the meantime, as I told Olha at the beginning of this lesson, it is Boris. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you, Boris, for joining. I will see you later. I will post my next live lesson on the community, so just make sure you check that out. And as I was telling Ola, it's Golden Week here. That's the holiday here in Tokyo or in Japan. It's a 1-week holiday. So I should be doing a lot of live lessons this week. My schedule will be a little bit strange this week, but I still plan to do live lessons. So just keep checking my site once in a while. I'll try to post when I'll do it, the lessons. So today was an unusual day for me. I don't usually do lessons on Tuesdays, but I'm glad I had a bunch of people in here. So that was nice. Hola. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Have a great day. I hope you eventually can get to Tokyo. So in the meantime, everybody check my community site out. You'll see the lessons that I'll do. I might post it kind of last minute because this week is a little strange here in Tokyo, being that everyone's off. But hopefully I'll see you soon and all in the next lessons here. I'll post some other videos coming out soon as well. But in the meantime, thank you for joining. If you want a copy of this lesson and all the answers on it, just let me know, email me, and I can give you a copy. All right. So in the meantime, Thursday, I will definitely do a lesson in the evening. Maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure. Just check out my site. So thank you so much. Hola. Thank you as always. Everybody have a great day, whether it's your morning, afternoon, or evening. And I'll see you guys all soon. All right. See ya.